Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, let me get the screen on there. How you going, Deb, Alex? Out to lunch. Who else have we got in here? John, Eric, Meg Aussie, how you going? You're actually not working. Wow. God love ya. Daniel, how you going? Maria, how you going? Darlene, how you going? Jake, how you going? Shannon, how you going? Paul, how you going? Sherry, how you going, guys? Good to see you. Okay, I don't know how long I'm going to last because I've been up all night with allergies, but we'll have a good go at it, okay? We're going to go. Canadian Patriot media of Canadian Patriots even calling out Australia's government as a majority female federal cabinet for the first time in their history. At the same time, Australia's government's never been more anti-free speech and anti-Australian than it is right now. Coincidence? It's a question. We are the first majority women federal government in Australia's history. You know why? Because they're all lefties. Trained. Good little foot soldiers. Daisy May, 4263, said internal polling must be telling. A group of ISIS brides have been blocked from returning to Australia after they were turned away from Syria's international airport. The group of 13 women and children who have links to Islamic State fighters were on their way to Damascus International Airport in Syria on Thursday after being booked on flights back to Australia thanks to our government. However, their vehicle was turned around after Syria's foreign ministry was informed that the Australian government has now refused to receive the group. Oh, they were willing to have them in the first place. Now they're not, apparently, allegedly. Yeah, rise of Alberta. Said Trump has approved permits for the 500,000 BPD, what is it, Bridger pipeline, moving crude oil from Alberta through Montana to Wyoming. If the US can open doors for Alberta energy while Canada keeps closing them, it's another reason for Alberta to become an independent and control their own future. Ooh. Let's have a listen to Trump.
A presidential permit authorizing the Bridger pipeline, sir.
Bridger.
This is a transborder pipeline similar to the old Keystone XL pipeline. It'll significantly expand our ability to move oil around North America, oil and gas around North America. It's a huge deal in terms of long-term energy dominance and energy security.
Slightly different than the last administration.
Very different than last
They
administration.
wouldn't sign a pipeline deal, and we have pipelines going up. And by the way, they're way underground. They're not a problem. Nobody even knows they're there. It's so crazy, but they wouldn't approve anything having to do with the pipeline, and they're great. As opposed to trucking it or training it, they're great.
Much safer. Right.
A lot of jobs, too. A lot of jobs.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Next.
This is a presidential permit.
Very well done. Okay. Darlene said, where is it? Where is it? The KFC original wipes for allergies. Really? This is for, like, itchy throat and sneezing and stuff like that. I don't know how. I don't know. I can't wipe out my nose with it, can I? No, yeah. What's KFC original wipes good for allergies? What? Okay. Have a sniff, it fixes all. How you going, Teresa? Okay, Jesse Waters said breaking US CENTCOM commander just briefed President Trump about a final blow to Iran. Hypersonic Dark Eagle missiles, bombers surging, carriers stacked. POTUS says they're sitting in a cave. They want a deal badly. 24 hours before the clock expires. And I believe that 24 hours is nearly up. There you go. Eric Doherty said, laugh my ass off. Senator John Kennedy just dropped this hilarious line. Should I let him say it? My Democratic colleagues really like Keir Starmer, who's just to the left of Lenin. He's very unpopular with the people of the UK. He's polling right up there with gonorrhea. I don't know how much longer he can last, but this guy, he would give Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez a run for her money in terms of his loony woke ideas. There you go, I said it for him. He sounds better saying it, though. How you going, Carl? George? Anyone I missed? Darlene? God love you. Okay, so there you go. Gunther Eagleman said, boom, Soros-funded New Orleans Sheriff Susan Hudson indicted for prison jailbreak. DEI disaster, Susan Hudson, handpicked and bankrolled by George Soros, has been officially indicted. People are getting indicted. The wheels of justice turn slowly, but they're turning. Okay, it's going to work its way up. Sandy Yang said no homes, blame Iran. Oh, here in Australia, they're blaming the war for no homes now. Forget what happened before the war. No homes, blame Iran. Watch Labor Senator Michelle Ananda Rajah blame the Iran war. Why is she a senator at all? I honestly don't think we should have these people in politics. Aussies for Aussie politics. Okay, which has only been going for 8 weeks, the Iran war, for the reason why Labor has not built 200,000 homes. Ananda Rajah has 7 investment properties negatively geared. I'm not even going to listen to her. I don't want to hear her. Thank you. Out you go. Who voted this? Which morons voted this person in anywhere? She's a Labor senator, so she must have been voted in somewhere. How you going? Did I say hello, Jake? I think I did. just to be sure. I'm going to say hello anyway. Red Pill Bot said Germany just flipped the kill switch on Lexus cars, disabling remote start in the dead of winter. You can't warm your car up now because warming up your own vehicle before work, that's now unnecessary pollution while the elite fly around in their private jets, and I'm sure they've got heating. Without warning, Germany ordered Lexus to remotely shut down the remote start function on combustion vehicles, leaving over 100,000 drivers stranded in freezing temperatures. A Toyota rep confirmed the move, calling it compliance. But compliance with what? This is the new climate authoritarianism, where your ability to heat your own car is revoked overnight with an app update. The World Economic Forum said it plainly, you'll own nothing, and now it's happening. Renting features, renting heat, renting freedom. The pretext is the climate. The real goal is control. And electric vehicles, they're even easier to shut down. Today it's your car, tomorrow it's your fridge, your heat, your bank account. One wrong post and Planteer's AI could decide you no longer deserve access. The solution? Unplug now. Say no to smart cars. Say no to smart anything. Because if you don't control the on switch, someone else does. The on-off switch, I would say. Yeah, someone else does then. Germany, what are you doing? Don't fall for it again. I know they're not. They're smarter than that. Come on. Philippe T said, imagine a single injection and your teeth grow back all on their own. Oh, my goodness. This would help a lot of people. Goodbye implants, dentures and bridges for life. Japan is testing a drug that awakens your dormant tooth buds. Yes, you have a third set hidden in your jaw since birth. The crazy part? It simply blocks a protein called USAG1 that was preventing them from growing. Result, real teeth with roots, enamel and everything else. In mice and ferrets, it worked perfectly. Today, 30 Japanese men aged 30 to 64, each with at least one missing tooth, are receiving the intravenous treatment in phase 1 trials at Kyoto University Hospital. The goal of Professor Katsu Takahashi, did I say that right, and his startup Toragem Biopharma, make it available to everyone by 2030. This isn't sci-fi, it's already happening. Get ready to never see the dentist the same way again. Oh, this would help so many people. For real, come on, yeah, I reckon, Shannon. A lot of people need it. Eric Doherty said, wow, and a lot of people need it to eat, actually, you know, they need the teeth. You need your teeth to eat. You don't realise till you got none left that you can't eat properly. Dentures? Feels like you're eating glass every time something goes in under there. Eric Doherty said, wow, President Trump reveals he personally funded the new black granite pathway at the White House to be completed before King Charles III's visit. In fact, if you can let the press leave through that door, it's just completed. We had it completed for King Charles on time, on budget. I paid for it, so you know it's very expensive, I want to tell you. Question, does he love it? Trump, he loved it. Reporter, this is a Trump renaissance. Trump said, well, we're fixing the White House. I think he's got a plan for the king. Okay, he's got a plan. Yeah, I feel for you, Shannon, if you got toothaches. Ooh, they hurt. Sassafras84 said this was said so perfectly on Facebook that she had to share this. They arrested the President of the United States 4 times, hit him with 91 charges, indicted him on 4 separate cases, spied on his campaign, sabotaged his first term, jailed his supporters, raided his private residence, censored and gagged him, tried to bankrupt him, attempted to remove him from state ballots. When none of that worked, they tried to assassinate him not once but 3 times. And yet they still go on national television demanding we vote for them to save democracy. The White House... CA, I don't know what that stands for. Alleged shooter wasn't some nut job lurking in the fringes of society forgotten by the system. He was well educated, credentialed, employed and institutionally formed. That's what makes this so disturbing. At first glance, this doesn't look like a breakdown of the system. It looks more like a product of it. Academia, media and politics help build the moral permission structure. While neither side is perfect, all I know is this. I'm on the side that doesn't kill people, celebrate their deaths or fantasise about killing them just to win an election. That's the side I'm on. PC Lance Smith. Well done, Lance. There you go. Melissa Red Pill said, how cool is this as a message here? During our national anthem, our Flag waved wildly, showing no fringe, while the British flag had to stay still. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave? Well, yes, it does. Okay, let's have a look. I want to have a look. The British flag's just wrapped up over here, okay? This is the American flag over here, in case anyone doesn't know. We should all know that by now. Humiliation. Bright stars. Don't know all the words. And the rockets, the bombs bursting in air through the night, that our flag was still there. A star-spangled banner yet waved in the land of the free. Oh God, in the home, sorry, of the brave. Okay, I sounded like Roseanne when she sung at the... Oh dear God. Don't let that happen. I'm sorry, I don't know all the words yet completely, but I know a lot of it. Okay, Sarah Fields said 17 plus earthquakes have hit Area 51 in the last 24 hours. The strongest one clocking at 4.4 to 4.7 magnitude. Weird. It is weird. I wonder what's going on there. Is there any hint in the... Oh, McAmius said, Grok, what's the odds nuclear weapons are being tested in secret at Area 51? What is the history in testing nuclear weapons at Area 51? Have they ever been confirmed or always denied to be tested at the facility? Odds of a secret full-scale nuclear weapons testing at Area 51 today near zero. The US has observed a testing moratorium since 1992, relying on computer modelling, subcritical experiments and stockpile stewardship. No live detonation. Area 51, Groom Lake, focused on aircraft development, the U-2, the SR-71, the F-117, stealth tech. That makes sense now. Area 51 did stealth tech. Nuclear explosive tests occurred at the adjacent Nevada test site, NTS-NNSS, where 928 tests happened between 1951 and 1992. Area 51 had some nuclear propulsion research, but no confirmed bomb test there. Always denied by the government. Recent quakes are real, but explained as a natural swarm activity in the region. No evidence ties them to secret nukes. Well, that blows him out of the water. There you go. Okay. Interesting, though. 17 plus. Wonder how many exactly, actually. Awakened Outlaw said things are getting legit wild. By the way, notice that even if grudgingly things keep trending in our direction on the larger arc of the story. Did you think you'd ever see some of the amazing things transpired in the last 15 months? Look, if you can't see it by now, I really don't know what to tell you. It's clear as day from where I'm sitting. I suspect that over the course of the next few months, it's going to get increasingly obvious to everyone but the worst of TDS zombies. The most dedicated amongst them will have extremely unpleasant experience watching all of us cheer the destruction of everything they believe is true. And Cat Turd said, only Trump. Let's have a listen.
Is there talks about you potentially wearing a bulletproof vest moving?
Gonna wear a bulletproof vest?
Shot at
I don't
so
know if I
many
can
times.
handle looking 20 pounds heavier. These guys, they look so good. Some of these guys are physical specimens. Some of these guys are trouble. Say, get him away from me. I don't want to be near him. No. If you want to gain 20 to 25 pounds, get a vest. And Liv, frankly, the vest did an amazing job because it took a bullet close up. And he didn't even want to go to the hospital. I mean, we sent him to the hospital just in case, but he didn't want, still like.
Okay, he doesn't want to wear a bulletproof vest because it'll look like he's got 20 or 40 more pounds on him. Okay, Mario Norfolk, there's a few of these. I've got a lot saved for the end. Robots that are actually, we think that AI is going to take over the world, or robots. I don't know about that. Mario Norfolk said 2 Amazon robots got stuck in an aisle, spending what appears to be an eternity shuffling back and forth because neither one could figure out who should move first. This is what happens when you forget to teach a $200,000 robot to say, no, after you. Watch this. They're just going to keep going. I would love to see if one slid in the back behind them. This is ridiculous. If this is the AI we're dealing with, it's not taking over anything. It can't even work out where to go. Look, they just keep blocking each other. Can you imagine? Oh, my God. They're still going. Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay. Eric Doherty said, laugh my ass off. President Trump just laid out his new strategy to pass anything he wants through Congress. We found a new strategy. We're going to oppose every single thing that we want and it will get unanimous. I'm going to come up and oppose everything. I don't know who's trying to ring me. I'm going to come up and oppose everything from this point forward. They'll vote for it. As Democrats, they'll vote against anything, no matter how good, if they had their favourite thing in the world and we happen to want it. I might have to take this, guys. I've got to take a call, I think. Hang on. Will it work? Hang on. No. Okay, I missed it. I've got a friend who actually belongs in hospital right now, but hey. Eric Doherty said, laugh my ass. Oh, yeah, I just said that. Yeah, I just read that one. Sorry, guys. I'm very distracted. I've got a friend who should be in hospital and yet he's sitting at home. I don't know what he's waiting for, but hey. So I'm a bit worried. Oh, that was you calling, Deb. Was that you? No, not you. No, we come up with your number, surely. Okay. Melissa Redpill said the White House just posted a video of Charles and Camilla's visit to the White House. A few notable screenshots. 1, a single bird flying away as it was set free from a trap. 2, a photo of Melania and Charles with Charles appearing below her as if in submission. 3, the beehive symbolism of sovereignty that Melania is showing Camilla. What else do you see? What else is there? Give me a look. Is there a cut-off volume? Yes, because the music's going to get me. Okay. Yeah, I do believe it was humiliation ritual for the king and... They call her Queen Camilla now. Oh, no. No. No, just no. I just don't want to. Okay, Clandestine said it's happening. I'm going to read this first. Donald J. Trump said the United States is studying and reviewing the possible reduction of troops in Germany with a determination to be made over the next short period of time. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Trump just spoke to Putin and said things were positive, and now Trump announces they're looking into reducing our standing army in Germany. Just as I hypothesised, Trump is reducing our military footprint in the Eastern Hemisphere, which will lead to normalised relations with Russia and China, the end to the war in Ukraine. US military presence in Germany is essentially a standing deterrent for all of Europe and is Putin's biggest threat. If NATO Ukraine were to draw the US into direct conflict with the US military, which he does not want. Long story short, Trump looking to remove our standing military presence from Germany signals the coming of the end of US involvement in NATO and thus the end of the war in Ukraine and potentially the end of the Cold War with Russia that never really ended. Trump is beginning the process of consolidating our forces in the Western Hemisphere and resetting the global order. An extremely good sign. There you go. Phoenix said elites effing each other and kids was not enough to wake people up. I'm going to enjoy this. Just remember, you kind of force this. We're just not going to enjoy like this, but we're going to enjoy just watching people wake up, realising that we weren't talking shit. Okay. Matrix Bot said, having been called a liar by Anthony Fauci for saying not one of the 72 vaccines mandated for children has ever been safety tested, RFK Jr. sued Fauci. After a year of stonewalling, Fauci's lawyer admitted that RFK Jr. had been right all along. There's no downstream liability, there's no front-end safety testing, and there's no marketing and advertising costs because the federal government is ordering 78 million school kids to take that vaccine every year. What better product could you have? And so there was a gold rush to add all these new vaccines to the schedule, because if you get onto that schedule, it's $1 billion a year for your company. So we got all these new vaccines, 72 shots, 16 vaccines, and that year, 1989, we saw an explosion in chronic disease in American children: ADHD, sleep disorders, language delays, ASD, autism, Tourette's syndrome, tics, narcolepsy. Autism went from 1 in 10,000 in my generation to 1 in every 34 kids today. There's something wrong when that's happening. Same as diabetes, same as all of it. Epilepsy, everything. Pascal Najadi? Breaking: Comey quietly cooperating as star witness in massive deep state conspiracy case related to Russiagate. Preparing to testify against Obama to the grand jury, disgraced former FBI Director James Comey, who was indicted yesterday for threatening the life of President Trump, has reportedly been approached by federal authorities about making a deal for leniency in his own criminal case in exchange for cooperating and providing testimony against disgraced former President Barack Obama, as well as a laundry list of top Obama administration officials. I just moved it. Who the feds are set to indict in a historic conspiracy case related to Russiagate and the coup attempt that was led by Obama against President Trump. Comey is said to have accepted his offer and is giving up names and revealing where all of Obama's bodies are buried, in what direction of national intelligence Tulsi Gabbard accurately described as this treasonous conspiracy to undermine and overthrow our democratic republic when she referred to this investigation to the DOJ for prosecution. Implicated individuals from the Obama administration are alleged to include former then Vice President Joe Biden, former CIA Director John Brennan, failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, former dirty FBI agents Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, former National Security Advisor Susan Rice, former acting AG Sally Yates, corrupt then Congressman Adam Schiff, Barack Hussein Obama himself as the mastermind, among others. Comey's a crook, a scumbag and a coward who only cares about saving his own ass at the end, which is why he's the perfect useful idiot for the feds to use to take down Obama and his band of thugs at long last. Are you excited for this trial of the century and Comey's juicy testimony against Obama and his fellow traitors? Get your popcorn ready. It's about to go off. SG Anon said like clockwork shortly after informing the Senate during testimony today that the Pentagon was asking for $71 billion to modernise the US's ageing nuclear arsenal, 17 reversed. War Secretary Hegseth drops a tippy top, a phrase connected to the now famous instance where followers of Q had asked the faceless online entity for proof of its or their proximity to President Trump, and statistically impossible confirmation came within days when President Trump said tippy top. We're in tippy top shape, he said. Now let's listen to this one.
We also have a situation where President Trump rebuilt our military in the first term, and a lot of those munitions and a lot of those capabilities were sent to Ukraine under the previous administration, to the point where when we ask our commanders or when we look at O plans, the answer often is that was sent to Ukraine. So the recognition of those two things has, as the president gave us a charge from day one to rebuild the arsenal of freedom, to fast forward, not to provide a little bit more of each thing, but 2x, 3x, 4x the number of exquisite munitions that we need. The expenditures that we've seen under this administration, we can account for them, and we ensure that other O plans and elsewhere are well taken care of. So on the munitions front, we're in really good shape, but we need to accelerate, and that's exactly what we're doing.
And I think that's an important point you make, is that we're not just trying to fill a hole that was created by Epic Fury or by support for Ukraine. We're going to fill that and then go much beyond that for our needs in the future. So we're never caught where we were over the last several years. with these worries about munitions running short. Is that right, Mr. Secretary?
That's exactly right. The president has charged up with not just replacing anything, but filling it up, as he might say, to the tippy top, and make sure that the remainder of this term and future presidents have all the munitions they need for any level of contingencies, especially considering the dangerous world we live in.
There you go. Fletch 17 said he said it twice. What did he say twice?
That at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous that you're not going to have income tax to pay. That at some
He did. He said it twice. No income tax to pay. How you going, Conchega? J1. Did I say hello, George? And Shane and anyone else I've missed, I'll get to you in a minute. Okay, that was interesting too. Reset Intelligence says King Charles flew home to London this morning, second British monarch ever to address Congress. The first was Elizabeth in 1991. This week she did at BCCI was 8 weeks from being seized on 3 continents in a single day. The Soviet Union was 7 months from collapsing. The Crown seems to show up at hinge weeks. Look at the rest of this week. Trump locked the Iran oil blockade long term. Brent ripped to $126. The UAE walks out of OPEC at midnight with 5 million barrels a day they can bring online without anyone's permission. That's a huge step if you know what OPEC does, controlling oil and fuel. Powell stepped down as Fed chair and kept his governor's seat, last man to do what that was Mariner Eccles in 1948. Eccles used the seat to leak Truman in 1951 and forced the Treasury-Fed Accord, the founding charter of central bank independence in this country. A Treasury seal pressed down on the Hormuz chart, the Crown on the floor of Congress, the outgoing Fed chair refusing to leave the room. 3 sovereignty signatures in 1 week. If you're asking me, change is occurring in plain sight. Interesting. MJ Truth Ultra said Lara Trump. Barron Trump is not a time traveller. I've seen him grow up. If you believe in conspiracies like this, you probably also believe we didn't actually land on the moon, or you believe that 9/11 was an inside job. Is that reverse psychology? Yeah, I'm wondering. Okay, this is how, how I've been saying for ages, you got to stand up to bullies, all right? Or they'll keep going. I learned that at school, okay? Big Pop said, growing up, I learned there are bullies everywhere, no matter the social class, neighbourhood, etc. There's always one. I've raised 3 boys and 2 girls and taught them all to stand up for themselves and others. I wasn't even taught to stand up for myself. I just had to. Kudos to this youngster for drawing the line. It was justified. And this is in Australia years ago, right? Now, this little bully is bullying this bigger guy, right, trying to punch him and stuff. Just keep watching. It's how you deal with little bullies, or any bullies, really. Okay? Well, maybe not that way, but, I don't condone violence at all, YouTube, by the way. But, yep. Sometimes you got to just confront that bully. Anyway. Awakened Outlaw said this mother effer is a stone cold killer. Okay, let's have a look.
Is the president going to ask for him to be returned to the United States or not? Like, yes or no?
Let me ask you, what do you think would happen to him if he came back to this country? As your understanding of immigration laws, what do you think would happen?
But I'm just asking
it's important to know.
About whether
you're asking a lot of questions.
The president,
you are all asking a lot of questions about this, and you all seem to care about it a lot. So let's see if any of you have researched anything about this issue at all. Can anyone here tell me what would happen to the illegal alien from El Salvador if he came back to the United States? Does anyone here know? Does anyone want to guess? Any of you?
He could be with his family.
Do you know the difference between a deportation order and a withholding order? Do you know the difference? Any of you, please.
No, they don't.
Do you?
Well, we're not in the government.
But you couldn't even spend 72 hours over the weekend learning the distinction, even though you've been writing and talking about it this whole time. What I'm getting from this conversation, which is educational for me, is that not one person in the media knows the difference between a deportation order and a withholding order. Is that a fair statement? You're learning about this all for the first time right now? I guess so. Okay. So the deportation order means the judge has said he must be deported from the country. He has no right to remain here any longer. He must be removed from the country. So his only options are to be deported to his home country or another country. That's it. There's no other option. He doesn't get to stay here. He doesn't get to live here. He has no future here. He has no right to be here. He's an illegal alien. So when you keep saying return, because you've been spun up by the open borders advocates, you all seem to be operating under the illusion that he would be able to come to the United States and just continue to live here illegally. That's not an option available to him. His only choices in life are to live in El Salvador or to live in another country. That's it. There's no other option, legally or otherwise, because he came to our country illegally. Do you understand that? He would be arrested. He'd be put in confinement. He would be deported the second time to El Salvador again, because there's no withholding order for an alien who's a member of a foreign terrorist organization, number one. Number two is the gang that he's a member of doesn't exist in El Salvador anymore. So what you're asking for is to be deported twice. But additionally, if we chose to pretend, just pretend, that the withholding order was real, he would be deported to a different country. So, for example, he could be deported to Egypt. So I'm just trying to understand, is it your view, in other words, you define a country that would be willing to take a MS-13 member from El Salvador. So I'm trying to understand from you all is, so if he came back and under our laws, he was then deported to Egypt or to Somalia, would you then be saying, great, I'm so glad that you deported him to another country? Is that what you'd all be saying?
Reporters are so dumb. Oh my God. I didn't think they were that dumb really, but they didn't even know. They're reporting on all that, and they didn't even know. Yeah, okay. Hey, the media's dumb. Mainstream media, mainstream news, they're dumb. I'm not much smarter, but hey. A little bit smarter than that. Medea Gurrier said it's official. RFK Jr. shatters global orders. US completes WHO withdrawal and final message. We will never be ruled by them again. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced a full US withdrawal from the World Health Organization. In a historic speech, he exposed the WHO's failures during COVID and declared that American health policy will no longer answer to unelected foreign officials. This move reclaims national sovereignty, ends US funding and reshapes global health leadership. RFK Jr. just took down the WHO. We will never be ruled by them again. There you go. L.H. Gray said President Trump didn't tweet. He launched a kinetic strike from orbit. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, freshly installed steward of a hollow Reich, had the gall to whine that America was humiliated by Iran. Trump's reply was surgical, lethal, and dripping with the contempt these continentals have earned for 70 years. Sorry, guys. The Chancellor of Germany should spend more time on ending the war with Russia-Ukraine, where he's been totally ineffective, and fixing his broken country, especially immigration and energy, and less time on interfering with those that are getting rid of the Iran nuclear threat, thereby making the world, including Germany, a safer place. Boom, the mask slipped. The vassal state that can't keep the lights on, can't seal its borders from the third world tide, can't even pretend to deter Putin, suddenly lectures the only adult in the room about humiliation. F you, Merz, fuck the entire post-1945 European pathology that produced you. Let's speak the truth these salons will never stomach. Psychology of the cuckold continent. Europe isn't just weak, it's pathologically dependent. Post-World War II, we pumped the Marshall Plan into a continent that gutted itself twice in 30 years. Where'd I get thrice from? We gave them the nuclear umbrella, the 70+% of NATO's actual combat power, the logistics backbone that lets their militaries play dress-up. In return, they cultivated a psychic complex, moral superiority married to strategic impotence. It's battered spouse syndrome in reverse. The wife, America, keeps handing over the paycheck, while the degenerate husband, Europe, drinks, cheats, lectures, and resents the very hand that feeds him. They had us because we exposed their castration. Every American strike that actually neutralises a threat, whether Soleimani, bin Laden, or now the Iranian nuclear program, reminds them they lack the will, the balls, and the arsenal to do it themselves. Historical betrayal on steroids. NATO was forged to stop Stalin's horde from rolling to the Channel. Fine, mission accomplished in 1991. What followed was the greatest strategic rift in history. Europe deliberately demilitarised offshore its energy security to Putin's pipelines, opened the gates to mass Islamic migration that now runs its no-go zones, and then had the nerve to call America a unilateralist every time he lifted a finger. Germany, yes, the same Germany that once fielded, Wehrmacht, Panzers, now fields a Bundeswehr that can barely muster a brigade without American airlift, fuel and ammo. Their energy policy is a green suicide cult. Their immigration policy is national suicide by demography. Is that how you say it? Demography? And they still posture as the adults in the room. Military and geopolitical reality check. I need to learn how to pronounce words. Demography, I think it is. The United States subsidises European defence, so Berlin and Paris can virtue signal about climate accords and lecture us on rules-based orders, while Iran proxies swarm the Red Sea and Russian artillery turns Ukrainian fields into moonscapes. Trump just reminded the world when America moves against an existential nuclear threat, the planet, including the Euro cucks, gets safer whether they like it or not. MERS bleating is projection. Germany is humiliated daily by its own impotence, its own demographic replacement, its own energy poverty. The only humiliation America suffers is the self-inflicted kind, staying married to this welfare queen alliance. We are the abused wife who keeps coming back with fresh bruises and a new credit card. But the kids, they cry, meaning their precious European social model built on American blood and treasure. Bullshit, the kids grew up spoilt, soft and sneering. Time for the divorce. Get the fuck out of NATO. Let the continent that invented total war face the wolves it invited. Let Germany discover what actual security costs when the American ATM is closed and the 101st Airborne isn't riding to the rescue. America first isn't isolationism, it's sanity. We'll keep the seas open, the nukes ready and the homeland defended, but subsidising effete ingrates who piss on our boots while demanding we bleed for their mistakes. That era ends now. Trump sees it. The American people are waking to it. Europe had 70 years of the free ride. The bill is due. Pay it yourselves or watch the house burn while you lecture the firemen on their tone. Yeah, you can add Australia to that as well. Okay? It's not just Germany. It's the UK. It's Australia. It's all of us. Oh, dear God, help us. Ox Nobler said, warning, the next 24 hours will change everything. Tomorrow, UAE will officially leave OPEC and remove all caps on oil production and exports. They spend $3.3 billion building a secret pipeline to flood the market with cheap oil, and Iran's blockade cannot touch it. That means all supply changes overnight, and when all supply changes, every market reprices, stocks, bonds, crypto. One of the world's largest oil producers is now positioned to pump at full scale while routing exports around the entire Iran conflict. More oil supply with protected export infrastructure changes global pricing. Oil moves everything. Energy drives inflation. When oil falls, transport costs fall. Manufacturing costs fall. Shipping costs fall. Consumer prices fall. When inflation falls, central banks move. Now connected. UAE pumps more oil. Habshan Fajura routes it around Hormuz. Global supply expands without regional bottlenecks. Oil prices fall, inflation drops, rate cuts accelerate, liquidity expands. And when liquidity expands, risk assets skyrocket. Bitcoin, tech, growth stocks, capital rotates fast. But there are only two options now. US-Iran war ends, regional pressure cools, shipping stabilises, Iranian exports return, and UAE supply scales at full capacity through the Fajara, I don't know how to say that, and creates maximum supply expansion. No bottlenecks, no quota limits, no blocked exports. And OPEC is not involved. Oil drops hard, inflation falls fast, the Feds pivot, liquidity to returns, risk assets surge. Number two, war escalates, Hormuz becomes unstable, shipping lanes face disruption, regional exports get squeezed, but UAE keeps exporting. That makes UAE the most strategically protected oil exporter in the Gulf. While others face choke point risk, UAE keeps flowing. That makes Fajura one of the most important oil terminals in the world. It's not just a pipeline, it's an oil war hedge. It's a supply chain weapon. It's the infrastructure behind UAE's OPEC exit. They built their own route. Then they removed the cap. That was the plan, and now the market is repricing it. Pay attention now, because the pipeline changes who controls oil flows in the world. I've studied markets for over 10 years and call nearly every single major top and bottom. And I'll call the next market crash too. Follow, turn notifications on. I'll post the warning before it's too late. I probably won't get the warning before it's too late, but hey, it sounds good to me. I don't know who this person is, so take it with a grain of salt, but interesting nonetheless. Okay, Define Els said Trump beginning at the start of next year, every American will be able to go to Trump IRA and open a new low-cost IRA account. You'll then be able to access the same type of retirement accounts that federal employees enjoy, which are incredible. Well done.
Beginning at the start of next year, every American will be able to go to TrumpIRA.gov and open a new low-cost IRA account. You'll then be able to access the same type of retirement accounts that federal employees enjoy through the thrift savings plans, which are incredible. As part of the Federal Savers Match Program, low-income Americans will be eligible to receive up to $1,000 per year in matching funds deposited directly into their accounts. It's a great thing. For millions of Americans who lack employer-sponsored plans, this will be really revolutionary because they'll be covered. Nobody thought that was possible. For example, if a 25-year-old who is eligible for a Savers Match Program invests just $165 a month under the matching federal contributions, they will have an estimated $465,000 in their account by the time they're 65 years old. In other words, they'll be rich. And there's something awfully nice about that. But this is only the first step. I was talking to Kevin Hassett a little while ago, and the people standing right behind me, we're going to take it to the next level. And the next level, Kevin, you're going to mention something, but the next level will be necessary to have congressional approval. What you just heard, we don't need congressional approval. And it'll never be terminated, because to terminate it, if somebody else is in office, to terminate it, you'd have to take that money away. You'd have to really take away something that's so positive. I don't think any politician would do it.
There you go. It's getting very interesting. I'd love to be in the US right now. Oh, that's it. Hey, AS. Hey, who else was in here? Zal. How you going, Zal? Just want to make sure I say hello to everyone, but I think I've missed a few people, though. Julie Blue. Okay, I don't know who this is. Trump has the receipts and he's locked and loaded. Ukraine was laundering American taxpayer money into Biden's 2024 campaign to coup America. John Solomon intercepted intel confirms they were plotting to buy the election and keep the grift rolling. 2024 was their last desperate swing at overthrowing us from Kiev. They didn't just steal 2020, they tried to buy 2024 with our money. Wow. A country dwarfed by America in every metric, acting like they own us. Where does this arrogance come from? That is interesting. Dies suddenly, said pathologist Dr. Ryan Cole, shares real-world observations about post-travel blood clots. I've had colleagues who ended up with clots after long flights or travel. I suggested nattokinase, and in a day or two, their clots were dissolved. Nattokinase is a natural enzyme derived from fermented soybeans that's been studied for its ability to break down fibrin in clots. According to doctors seeing these cases in practice, the results have been remarkably fast. Hey, Bearded Guardian, how you going? Good to see you. Lady Stardust, how you going? Yeah, so there you go. Blood clots. Okay, there is apparently, I'm not a doctor, I don't know. So go see your doctor if pain persists. It looks like there's a thing for that. Nattokinase. I don't know. I might have to bookmark this for when I speak to Tim next again. Bookmark to the medical folder. There we go. Okay, Whiplash347 said RFK just said it. The conspiracy theorists were right all along about everything. Unreal boom video. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has detonated a political earthquake by confirming the so-called conspiracy theories about COVID, chemtrails and government deception were not theories at all. They were the cold, hard truth deliberately hidden from the public. The moment the lies collapsed is this. Oh.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those kind words, Mark Wayne. Thank you to Jim O'Neill, to Tom Jodesnik, to Marty McCary, and to Wendy as well. Thank you for that, for sharing your story. It's with a heavy heart that I'm announcing that the conspiracy theorists were right again. COVID mRNA vaccines caused a litany of injuries, including but not limited to turbo cancer, heart failure, extreme blood clotting, and perhaps gayness. That's a chicken and egg problem that we're still...
Did he just say gayness? Gayness. Did he? Hey, Humpty Dump. Humpty Bump. Sorry. Humpty Bump, how you going? Did I hear right?
Heart failure, extreme blood clotting, and perhaps gayness.
What?
That's a chicken and egg problem that we're still...
Wow.
We're still investigating.
That's interesting.
Implications are substantial, and there's no easy way to say this. Anthony Fauci is a goblin, and if you weren't gay prior to taking the vaccine, there's a massive chance that your sudden desire to binge the Bravo channel and watch Tim Walz rallies isn't an accident. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you
I've got
for
to
those
bookmark
kind
this.
words.
I've got to bookmark this for Timo. See if he agrees with that one. The shots might have sent some people gay. Eric Doherty said, holy crap, sec war. Pete Hegseth just infuriated Senator Elizabeth Warren with his epic line. What I give, what you give, what others give, I'm not looking for money. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for profit. I don't do it for stocks. And that's part of the reason why I'm able to be effective in this job, because no one owns me. No one owns this department. No one owns this president. And we can execute for the American people. And we do. Warren then melts down. Let's have a look.
What I give, what you give, what others give, I'm not looking for money. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for profit. I don't do it for stocks. And that's part of the reason why I'm able to be effective in this job, because no one owns me. No one owns this department. No one owns this president. And we can execute for the American people, and we do. What I give, what you give, what others give, I'm not looking for money. I don't do it for...
Shut up, Elizabeth. Pocahontas. Okay, Paul White Gold Eagle said the enormity of what's coming will shock the world. Archbishop Vigano's explosive warning on global blackmail, Pizzagate, Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, Mossad and the elite child exploitation network. In a historic and chilling statement, Archbishop Carl Maria Vigano reveals a coordinated network of blackmail, ritual abuse and globalist control involving powerful elites. His message requires urgent attention and full investigation. Now, I know I've gone over this before, but we're going to keep going over it until people realise. Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, former apostolic nuncio to the United States, has issued a statement accusing political intelligence and media figures of crimes involving ritual abuse, blackmail and deception. Vigano states that recently an important collaborator of Hillary Clinton and John Podesta was arrested for pedophilia and child pornography. This man with ties to Broadway and cinema played key role in debunking the Pizzagate affair, the network of crimes against minors linked to the international deep state. The Archbishop explains that Jeffrey Epstein and most likely Ghislaine Maxwell were members of the Israeli Mossad. Trips to Epstein Island by well-known figures were used to blackmail them with evidence of heinous ritual crimes against minors. Western heads of states stay silent on Gaza's civilian massacres due to incriminating dossiers from Israeli intelligence services. The same applies to the fake pandemic emergency coordinated by the World Economic Forum and United Nations and Ukraine crisis farce. Blackmail of the powerful unifies the globalist subversive project. Vigano implicates Clinton and Podesta, the recent arrest tied to Pizzagate suppression, Epstein, Maxwell, Mossad in this scheme. Epstein Island functioned as a trap to record ritual crimes by elites. Israeli intelligence holds the evidence to silence Western leaders, as seen in their inaction on Gaza. I don't agree. Vigano links to this to staged events like the COVID-19 pandemic as fake emergency and the Ukraine situation as a manufactured crisis to sustain power. That I do agree with. The Archbishop calls for the awakening to these truths. His high status demands open inquiry into the allegations. The public has the right to the truth. Accused leaders must break their silence. This is no longer speculation. A prominent voice has named names. Silence equals complicity. The reckoning is here. If Fagano is correct, every moment of quiet protects the guilty. History will judge who spoke and who did not against the elite child exploitation network. We're going to find out. Matrix Bot said what it looks like when your human flesh suit is irritating you. If you slow it down, you can see those teeth disintegrate and come back together multiple times. What's going on here? Who is this and what's going on? Okay, watch this lady. Either that or she's on something. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Interesting. Is it a glitch? She keeps doing that like eye thing. I do that when I'm tired. Maybe she's tired, I don't know. But I have to do that when I'm tired. What's that bit? Okay. Well, that was interesting, sort of. Okay, flopping aces said the mullahs just got caught with their pants down, their bank accounts froze, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent unloaded on Kudlow. Trump ordered max pressure over a year ago, then personally told him 3 weeks ago to crank it to 11. Now Iran's entire terror racket is getting eviscerated. Their biggest bank collapsed, currency cratered, 60 to 70%. We're seeing $500 million in IRGC crypto, raiding their hidden overseas slush funds and locking down the retirement loot and French villas they stole from their own citizens, all for the Iranian people. Karg Island is a floating graveyard, oil loadings stop cold, storage tanks are maxed out, wells are about to be capped for good. The regime can't pay its goons and its blood money pipeline to Hezbollah, Hamas and every other jihadist parasite. It's cut off at the throat. After 47 years of murdering Americans and bankrolling global slaughter, Bessent delivered the death sentence. It's coming to a stop now. Meanwhile, America's roaring, massive tax refunds, 20% capex explosion, record energy exports and the most bulletproof economy on earth. Trump didn't negotiate with terrorists. He economically executed their entire operation. The mullah mafia's looting spree is finished, the proxies are broke and bleeding, and the American comeback is just getting started. Cry harder, terrorist scum. Okay, and more on that Natakanese. Okay, I'm going to put this in a folder to talk with Timmy about, if he can join us this week at all. Italian scientist has found enzyme clearing arterial plaque, reversing heart disease without surgery. That's not how you spell surgery, but hey, doesn't matter. I know what you mean. And yeah, researchers tracked 1,062 people with confirmed hyperlipidemia and carotid artery plaque. These weren't just healthy volunteers. Every person had an ultrasound at the start, another one after 12 months of daily natokinase. The study used 2 dose groups, 3,600 FU and 10,800 FU per day. The low dose group saw almost no change in their plaque or lipid markers. Even though it was the same supplement for the same amount of time, the dose made a difference, as most do, funnily enough. Doses make a difference. Eric said, Hev, that is the common drug used in America for varicose veins. Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. There you go. But it's the amount that they take that matters, okay? At 10,800 FU, carotid artery plaque shrank by 36%. The arterial wall thickness decreased by 21.7 on average. on average. These are physical structural changes that doctors measured and confirmed on ultrasound. 77.7% of participants showed measurable improvement in arterial wall thickness. 66.5% showed measurable reduction in plaque size. Improvement rates across all markers range from 66.5 to 95.4% for the majority of over 1,000 people, not some few lucky responders. Well, this is very interesting. The participants' lipid results moved in every right direction simultaneously. Total cholesterol down, LDL down, triglycerides down, HDL up. No adverse effects were recorded at any point across the full 12 months. Lifestyle also amplified everything. Participants walking more than 5,000 steps daily responded better than sedentary ones, and those with a higher BMI saw larger relative improvements, likely because they started from a higher risk baseline where there was more room to move. And sedentary means just staying still, sitting most of the day, or not moving around much. The study also tested co-administration. Vitamin K2 and low-dose aspirin taken alongside nattokinase produced a synergistic effect, outperforming nattokinase alone across cardiovascular markers. If you're building a stack, that's the combination the data points to. The researchers found the effective range is 6,000 to 12,000 FU daily. See your doctor before taking any of this, all right? How you going, Timmy? There's a love of fake and a half-ass stuff being cranked out. Okay. There's a lot of fakes. Okay. Maybe. I think that's what you meant. Most supplements in Europe are only 2,000 FU. That's a huge gap. The data shows 2,000 FU does almost nothing to plaque, while 10,000 actually shrinks it. Yeah, I'd be careful too, because that's why I say, seriously, don't take it without seeing your doctor. Because you never know when people are just throwing shit out there hoping someone takes something and hurts themselves. Yeah, so you got to be careful. That's why I keep anything medical, I'll put away and ask Timmy. Okay? Okay, Dr. Joanna House said breaking Virginia Bell's interim report on Bondi has 14 recommendations, 2 are even about guns. Shockingly, there's 0 recommendations about addressing the threat from radical Islam. The failure to diagnose the actual cause of the Bondi attack means this tragedy will happen again. PM says Bondi interim report to be implemented in full, which is going to mean gun restrictions and more gun restrictions. Anthony Albanese has responded to the interim report, which he probably paid someone to write anyway, of the Anti-Semitism Royal Commission into Security and Intelligence Services, confirming the government has adopted and will implement all the recommendations that are relevant to the Commonwealth. Here we go with more gun control. Okay, pharmacy in USA, the ivermectin dosing many cancer patients are now discussing, and I'm going to put this away for Timmy as well when I speak to Timmy. Hopefully he can join us this week. Can you, Timmy? Bookmark to the medical folder. This is just about ivermectin dosing and yeah, that looks like ivermectin alone. Okay, I need to know from Timmy though, because I don't trust. I don't know. Diana Patriots of United said he won the Nobel Peace Prize twice. Then he said vitamin C cures cancer. They destroyed his reputation overnight. Tim has been saying that for ages. Dr. Linus Pauling is the only person in history to win 2 unshared Nobel Prizes. The first in chemistry, the second Nobel Peace Prize. He is considered one of the most brilliant scientists who ever lived. He founded molecular biology. He mapped the structure of proteins. He changed the course of modern science. Then in 1970, he published a book claiming that high-dose vitamin C could prevent and treat cancer. The medical establishment turned on him within weeks. The same institutions that had celebrated him for decades called him a quack. The American Medical Association publicly ridiculed him. Journals that had published his work for 40 years refused to print his research. Funding was cut. Colleagues distanced themselves. The media ran headlines calling him senile. Wow. He was 69 years old. He had 2 Nobel Prizes, and they erased him from credibility because he threatened $1 trillion industry with a vitamin that cost pennies. Pauling's research showed that intravenous vitamin C in doses of 10 grams or more per day could selectively kill cancer cells while leaving healthy cells untouched. He published clinical trials with Dr. Ewan Cameron on the terminal cancer patients given high-dose vitamin C lived on average 4 times longer than those on conventional treatment. The Mayo Clinic ran 2 studies claiming to debunk him, but they used oral vitamin C instead of intravenous, which Tim also talks about. Oral doses cannot achieve the blood plasma concentrations needed to kill cancer cells. They knew this. They designed the studies to fail. Then they published the results as proof that Pauling was wrong. In 2005, the National Institutes of Health finally confirmed what Pauling said 35 years earlier. High-dose intravenous vitamin C is selectively toxic to cancer cells. Published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. They proved him right after he was dead, after they already destroyed his name. A 2-time Nobel laureate told the world that a natural molecule could fight cancer, and they buried him for it. Then they quietly confirmed his work when no one was paying attention. The cure was never the problem. The price was. And that would be very interesting also to share and discuss with Timmy. Okay. Colin Rugg said a K9 appeared to be suspicious of White House Correspondents' dinner shooting suspect Cole Allen, but was pulled away seconds before Allen charged through security. The dog was seen following Allen through a doorway, but was pulled back by his handler. Immediately after the handler turned away with the dog, Allen was seen charging through security. What a massive failure on every level. Okay, let's watch this. There's the dog. And there you go. The dog alerted, but the guy didn't pay attention. Okay, Kate said a police car completely destroyed 5 ambulances so badly damaged they're now off the road. This is here in Australia. How much longer will this be tolerated? I understand anger, but this achieves nothing. A massive riot erupted outside a hospital where a man accused of killing a 5-year-old girl in Alice Springs was being treated after a vigilante group tracked him down and beat him. About 400 people gathered outside the Alice Springs Hospital late on Thursday night, which was being guarded by more than 24 police officers armed with capsicum spray. A police car was completely destroyed by fire while others threw rocks at officers. 4 out of the town's 5 ambulances were so badly damaged they're now off the road, and ambulances are being deployed from Darwin. A woman who was in labour had to be escorted by police, who managed to clear a path for her to enter the hospital. Jefferson Lewis, accused of kidnapping and killing little baby, I don't know, what's this, Kamanjai? Little baby was rushed to Alice Springs Hospital. She's got a name, and that's maybe part of it, but that's not her name. Rushed to Alice Springs Hospital under police escort on Thursday night. He's now been evacuated from the hospital and flown to Darwin. Capital punishment. Riot erupts at hospital after vigilante groups finds and beats little baby's accused killer. And these are Aboriginals who apparently were the mob who wanted to, vigilante his ass. The Road Knight said, naturally, when I posted this yesterday, I expected the usual shrill squeals of racist. After all, this is what fuels inaction on Aboriginal affairs. It's easier to virtue signal by calling someone a racist than care about those children abused, neglected, raped and murdered and find ways to fix the bloody problem. Tragic little Sharon will become literally another footnote and nothing will change. 1 year ago today, a 2-year-old girl was raped in Tennant Creek. Despite the outrage, new figures show the actual number of abuse and neglect notifications for the Northern Territory of Australia and children has increased to 24,743. That equates to 1 every 21 minutes. The Road Knight said the murder of little Sharon, the 5-year-old girl taken from her bed in a town camp in Alice Springs, should be a clarion call for the government. And I have some suggestions. Ban the term stolen generations. They are the rescued generations, rescued from abuse and neglect. Rescue and remove all children being brought up in substandard accommodation by those who are too drug or alcohol affected to provide proper care. Apply the above as it would be applied to white folks in cities. Without this nonsense, cultural sensitivity, which is just a euphemism for acceptance of lower standards that would be unacceptable anywhere else. 3, cease the notion that they must be placed with kin, community or uncountry, where it cannot be proven that that care is as good as fostering adoption by others in other locations and not selected for their race. Too often children are shunted from one form of dysfunction to the next. 4, demolish all ramshackle town camps and relocate long grasses into appropriate accommodation within towns. This relegation of out of sight, out of mind has to stop. Enforce mandatory school attendance with fines, deduct from fortnightly welfare if necessary. Non-attending children are most likely to be neglected or abused. They should be removed from parents who would deny them any sort of meaningful future because they can neither read nor write. This, after all, is passive child abuse. Audit all expenditure on Aboriginal individuals, groups, charities, businesses, land councils and services, including mining royalties. Now, I don't agree with every single part of this because I agree with most of it, but I just don't trust the child services, I have a bit of trust issues, okay? But I do agree with auditing all expenditure on Aboriginal individuals. We pay billions per year to help these people, and they're not getting helped. Begin to wean Aboriginals off soul-destroying passive welfare that leads to hopelessness, helplessness, depression, and escapism through numbing drugs and alcohol. Create meaningful work to assist the above. Thousands of houses require repairs, maintenance, cleaning. Communities need rubbish collection and road maintenance, especially during the wet season, along with self-sustainability, growing fruit and vegetables, rearing chickens for meat and eggs, thereby overcoming the other problems of poor health and nutrition as a result of the cost of remote transport. There are countless opportunities for actual work that benefits the communities in the broadest sense. Apply the law and sentencing as it would be applied to a white person in a city. Justice is supposed to be blind, so there should be no privilege due to race or hardships during upbringing. We've all experienced hardships. Stop othering Aborigines. We're all Australians. We're all equal. Stop favouring one race over another. It's achieving the complete opposite of what's intended. Here endeth actual truth-telling. Okay, so we had a little girl in the Northern Territory taken from her bed, raped and killed. Ah, dear. Okay, I don't know who this is. For sale, Al-Ketbi. Do you understand what happened in the past 72 hours? The UAE quietly opened a sovereign dollar swap line with the US Treasury. Days before any cartel news broke, nobody on Bloomberg connected the timing. Abu Dhabi formally announced it's leaving OPEC after 58 years. I know we've heard this over, but this is a different take. The first major Gulf producer to walk out since the cartel was founded in 1960. OPEC, do you understand what it is now? It is a cartel. The UAE was sitting on $93 billion worth of spare oil capacity it was never allowed to pump because Saudi-driven OPEC quotas kept getting in the way. Saudi Arabia has issued a 90-word statement saying the cartel remains strong and never mentioned by the UAE by name. Silence speaks louder. The trigger note he's talking about, Iranian missiles hit UAE cities and Saudi Arabia stayed publicly silent. Abu Dhabi remembered. Russia loses its only multilateral lever over oil prices at exactly the moment it's bankrolling Iran's war and bleeding petrodollars on the Ukraine. Remains to be seen. Trump's administration has been openly courting Gulf producers one by one. Cheap oil before the midterms is now official US policy. Qatar walked in 2019, Ecuador walked in 2020, Angola walked in 2024, and the UAE walked in 2026. 4 major exits in 7 years, 0 new members. Every single move on this list points in the same direction. Washington just dismantled the cartel that quadrupled oil prices in 1973 and didn't fire a single shot. All of this, 1 week. OPEC didn't collapse, it got bought off. It got bought one Gulf state at a time. If you're not following me, you're finding out about this 48 hours late from someone who read my post. Yes, me. It's only getting crazier from here. So you can always follow Faisal Al Ketby? Okay. There you go. Don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Retard Finder said retards who want open borders should have to take some immigrants into their homes. Retards who think trans women are women should have to kiss one. Retards who think we are in a climate catastrophe should have to give up anything they tell us is causing it. The entire scam will end overnight. I agree. It's easier just to send them bloody back. Topher Fields said, let me ask? That's not how you spell ask. Anyway, the unaskable question. If respecting Indigenous culture is so important, why are white oppressive colonisers denying Indigenous Australians their version of justice? Yeah, why don't they let the vigilantes take him? The victim is Indigenous himself, okay? The victim? The perpetrator is Indigenous? Oh, okay. The victim is Indigenous, the accused is Indigenous, the crime was an Indigenous community, okay? So the accused is also Indigenous. And the mob gathered outside the hospital is made up mostly or perhaps entirely of Indigenous. But we're imposing white man, colonial, oppressive, where did that go? Ideas like innocent until proven guilty, or like a jury of your peers, like having a day in court and a proper defence and not being murdered before trial by a mob of angry locals. And this is what happens when you have anarchy, by the way. You'll have people, and they won't even realise they're doing it. Mob. Okay. Where are the lefties who support the voice, the ones who condemn us if we question the welcome to country, who insist that Indigenous culture is inherently virtuous because it got here first, and English civilization is inherently evil because it took over later? Where are they? When will they speak up in support of handing the accused over to the angry mob, hey? No, they won't. Because right now, members of the Indigenous community would like to carry out their culturally appropriate form of justice in this case, and it's the evil white man who's stopping them. How dare we? But actually, the real question is this. If we're all going to agree that Western justice is more civilised, that mob justice isn't acceptable, even in such an emotionally charged case as this one, then doesn't that mean we should also be allowed to ask perhaps whether Western civilisation is better in other ways too? Doesn't it beg the question whether English civilization actually improved Australia? Oh. And if not, then why not just hand the accused over to the mob? It would stop the riots after all. Yeah, I know, I'm evil for just pointing out the hypocrisy. Come at me in the comments. There you go. That's the little girl. That's the guy who did it. What do? Hand them over to the Aboriginals and let them take care of them? Or do you keep justice going and do the right thing and let everyone have their say in court? What if he was innocent? What if it was someone else? You need to find out beyond a reasonable doubt, guys. The Road Knight said, all quiet in the murder of 5-year-old Sharon. Cowards. Richmond FX said, thoughts, ladies? These are all our Aboriginal MPs. How about the five-year-old girl who just got murdered, hey? Where are you now? All of you morons. No, they're just in it for the grift. That's where all the Aboriginal money's going, by the way. Fox News said, reporter, do you have an update on the UFO files? President Trump, I think we're going to be releasing as much as we can in the near future. I've interviewed people my first term primarily, but I interviewed some pilots, very solid people, and they said they saw things that you wouldn't believe. So you got to be reading about it. Okay. And Gunther Eagleman said, boom, Pete Hegseth absolutely tortures Dem Rep Jacobs for daring to question Trump's mental stability. Rep Jacobs, D. Smugly asked, do you believe the president is mentally stable enough to be commander-in-chief? Hegseth fires back, you want to ask that question after you and your fellow Democrats defended Biden, who could barely speak, and a Secretary of Defense who went AWOL for an entire week? Well said, mate. Eric Doherty said just now, President Trump officially considers pulling a swath of US troops out of Germany after their chancellor bucked Trump on the Iran threat. Our allies are screwing up, Trump remembers. The United States is studying and reviewing the possible reduction of troops in Germany with a determination to be made over the next short period of time. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Trump is not happy with NATO either. Bad move on their part. And it is. And Australia, our government needs to get its head out of its arse. Nick Sautor said, holy crap, Karen Levitt's calling out Democrats by name who sparked the rhetoric leading to Saturday's attempt on President Trump's life. Rep Hakeem Jeffrey just this month said we're in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time. Governor Josh Shapiro said head needs to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said that people are dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a fascist state. No, that's you guys, and that's projection. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Authoritarianism, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, Governor J.B. Pritzker, I'm questioning myself here. Never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. Rep Presley saying we'll see you in the streets. Monica McIver, a Democrat represented on Capitol Hill, we will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We're at war. These Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters. Sorry, my mouse keeps doing really strange shit. Yeah. Hey, Flyby, how you going? Oh, and we know back on YouTube, is he? Oh, cool. Gunther Egerman said, boom, President Trump drops truth on UAE pulling out of OPEC. Reporter, the United Arab Emirates pulled out of OPEC. What do you think about that? Trump said, I think that's great. I know Mohammed very well. He's very smart. He probably wants to go his own way. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for getting the price of gas down, getting oil down, getting everything down. He's a great leader, actually. So, no, I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think we all will be in the end. You watch. Nick Sautor, I don't know how epic this is. King Charles just gifted President Trump the bell from the UK's HMS Trump, which was a World War II submarine. HMS Trump sank several Japanese ships during the war. 47 looks so excited. Charles, and should you ever need to get hold of us, just give us a ring. Something's going on. Ryan said COVID and the Rothschild system and method for testing for COVID-19, the patent that they obviously, yep, we know that, okay. They patented it, okay. In 2015, 2010, 2013, 4 years before the pandemic. Liz Churchill said straight out of a horror movie, 2014, planning for pandemics, Rothschilds. 2015, Margaret Chan from The Who, secretly funded by Epstein Rothschilds. 2018, Rothschilds admit to being inbreds. Pandemics are being planned by inbreds and human traffickers that hate humanity. And how do you feel now? I'd be absolutely fuming right now, right? If I had taken a jab and I found this out, I would be, oh my goodness, I don't even know. I'd be ringing the place that gave it to me too, going, do you know that bloody inbreds and traffickers are the ones who organised this? Wow. Red Pill Bot said Jeffrey Epstein accountant rep James Comer dropped Jeffrey Epstein accountant rep James Comer dropped 5 elite cabal clients who paid Epstein directly, the Rothschilds, Les Wexner, Leon Black, Glenn Dubin, and Steven Sinofsky. We want arrests now. Wait for it. It's coming. I'm telling you. It's going to lead up. They're going to get them on small stuff first, then it's going to go up and up and up to the higher stuff. Just keep watching. Liz Churchill said the Rothschilds are inbreds. You want to hear it from them? Do you want to hear it from them? Listen.
And Baron James, who was head of the Paris branch and the youngest of the 5 sons of our actual Rothschild, gave an astonishingly uninhibited description of the 19th century Rothschild policy of keeping it in the family. I'll quote to you from what he wrote and make you smile. In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family.
I'm sure you did.
In this sense, it was more or less understood since childhood that children would never think of marrying outside the family, so that our fortune would never leave it. You couldn't write that today.
No, but I'm sure you still
Darren
practice.
James, who was head of the...
I was gonna say no, but I'm sure you still practice that today. You certainly sound like it, seriously. Bunch of inbreds. Sarah Hour 1 said Candace Owens is now saying Laura Loomer had an affair aboard Air Force One with President Trump. Anyone who believes that, I've got a bridge to sell you. And yeah, there's been back and forth between Laura Loomer and Candace Owens and some other people. And apparently the reason she went to Italy was to get baptised as a Catholic. Anywho, the Road Knight said the murder of little Sharon, the 5-year-old girl taken from a bed in a town camp in Alice Springs. I had already read that. Am I going back instead of forward? Up instead of down? That's really pissing me off. Sorry, I've got an awning on my window and it's hitting the rail. Okay, and I'm going to have to fix that. Restore Australia said lefties are up in arms over One Nation receiving $1.5 billion jet from Gina Rinehart, yet are completely silent on $7.6 million Labor's received from Pratt Holdings. Typical gaslighting, cowards throwing stones at glass houses. And I believe this is also to show people, in Australia, the government will use your money, but Gina Rinehart, if she helps Pauline Hanson out by loaning her a plane, oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I remember years ago, Gina Rinehart cut her family off from their fortune because they wouldn't go to bloody work. You know what? That's how you do it. I don't have a problem with Gina Rinehart helping Pauline Hanson. The public then cannot whinge and whine about Pauline Hanson flying everywhere. Jack the Aussie said, clueless lefty hate mongers forget that Gina donated 10 times the cost of Pauline's plane to help homeless veterans. There you go.
Today, my foundation will donate $200 million to build emergency accommodation for homeless veterans. These heroes deserve our support. Let's ensure they have a safe place to call home. Today, my foundation will...
So there you go. Outspoken Samantha said Candace Owens spends... Oh, God, I don't even want to... Oh, no, I will point this out because it's hypocrisy, I think, from memory. I don't know, when did I bookmark this shit? Candace Owens spends all day, every day attacking the widow of her best friend, monetising his death and selling merch, mocking her grief. While her gay husband gets arrested for DUI and then she posts about being a follower of Christ. I'm not judging, I'm just noticing an astronomical gap between the words and the actions, just saying. And this was Candace getting baptised. Okay. The drunk Republicans said you all should have let Trump win in 2020 because after rigging the election and everything you put him through afterwards, he's about to go scorched earth on your asses and no logical person blames him one bit. No, we don't. James said it reached President Trump. He just reposted this video. The message is getting out. People are waking up. Bye-bye fake news. Let's have a listen.
If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country. Fines out the ass, which will damn near bankrupt their companies should they lie to the American people ever again. They can have their opinions, that's fine. They need to state that it is their opinion and that it is not a fact. Because of their constant lies, a man lost his life over it. Because of the constant hateful rhetoric of calling him a fascist and a Nazi and a white supremacist and a bigot, the same thing that they called you, this man is dead. I think this would be a great legacy for him to have a law named after him, to force journalists to finally start telling the truth and having the integrity that they have lacked for over a decade. I hope that this gets to you. I hope that you think about it and that you pass it into law. Because we are on a dangerous path right now with the constant lies and the propaganda. And that doesn't end just at news journalists. It needs to go to content creators who consistently spread lies and propaganda and half-truths across the internet. This needs to end. And people need to start being held accountable for baseless claims over absolute abysmal things. It needs to end. So please, if you have it in your heart to have the time to do this, get this in front of Congress, get this passed as a law, and start holding these news corporations, be they right, left, or center, accountable for their behavior. Thank you.
There you go.
If you stay to watch
the
video, please.
I might give her one piece of advice. She needs to get rid of her tongue ring because it's damaging her teeth, the poor girl. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but both her top and bottom front teeth are stuffed from that tongue ring by the look of it. Ronald Carter said nobody's telling you the real story of the SCOTUS voting rights ruling. Yes, the court ruled 6-3. Yes, race-based districting is now unconstitutional. Yes, Louisiana's map got thrown out. But here's the part everyone's missing. Democrats don't have a House majority without those court-ordered maps. A dozen of their current seats sit in districts that only exist because federal court forced states to draw them. Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, everyone has at least one Democrat seat in a court-created black majority district. Their House margin is 4 seats. SCOTUS just made 12 of their 213 seats legally redrawable. Republican-led legislatures don't need new voters. They need a redistricting committee and a Tuesday afternoon. If race-based districts are unconstitutional, then Louisiana redraws. If Louisiana redraws, then Alabama redraws. If Alabama redraws, then every southern state redraws. If every southern state redraws, the Democrat House majority was a 60-year courtroom artifact, not an election result. That's what nobody's saying out loud. The 2026 midterms were just decided 6-3, 6 months before Election Day. If you're not following me, you're finding out this post 1240. Is this the same person? No, Ronald Carter. They're all doing it now. If you're not following, it's a way to get people to follow you. If you're not following me, you'll find out about this 48 hours late from someone else who read my post. Whoop-de-bloody-doo. I don't know. I don't trust this person. Oh, I'll read it anyway. Mr. Poole said the magicians weren't doing tricks, they were providing cover. David Blaine filmed inside Epstein Island. CNN matched the footage this week, the bathtub, the kitchen, the tiles. He was there. Cameras rolling, a TV special, they said, but the episode never aired. Ask yourself why a network films on a private island, then buries the footage for 15 years. David Copperfield, named in the documents, visited the island 7 times between 2001 and 2005. His private collection, he calls it the Black Magic Museum. You read that right, the Black Magic Museum, and nobody asked questions. 2 of the most famous illusionists alive, both connected to the most prolific child trafficker in history. Their entire career was built on making things disappear. Children disappeared, witnesses disappeared, flight logs disappeared, hard drives disappeared, and the world clapped. They performed on every network, won every award, shook hands with presidents, got standing ovations from the same audiences they were deceiving, while the island operated in the dark. The DOJ released 3 million pages, then quietly pulled back thousands. The GAO just launched an emergency review. Why? Because 47 names were removed after publication. Someone made a call, someone high up. Pam Bondi testifies May 14th under oath about who ordered the redactions. The Clintons, held in contempt of Congress. First former president in history. They refused to answer a single question about the island. And Rogan found out this week he's in the files, not as a suspect, as a guest who was invited and said no. His exact words, I had no idea what that place was. How many others were invited and said yes? They called it black magic. They performed it on live TV and the whole world watched without seeing. The trick is over, the curtains falling, the audience finally sees the strings. Nothing disappears forever. Black magic, 47 names pulled, May the 14th, the curtain falls. Who knows? Seriously. And this fucking big balls of steel. Now, this, I thought at first, this is in England, this is somewhere else. But the accents of all people involved are Australian. So let me know, anyone who lives in Australia, do we have these colour police cars now? The guy that was laying on the grass just walks up, rips his gun out of his hand and throws it. They look like Aussie number plates. Adelaide, is it? Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Some hero in Adelaide who was commando crawling across the grass, right? And police were standing all on the other side. This commando, laying on the grass, waited for the car to, well, when the car moved, he got up and started walking, came from the back of the car while a woman was on the other side distracting the driver. This guy's walked up, ripped the gun out of the car. Yeah, can't park there, mate. Have you seen that? There's shorts of people driving past accidents going, can't park there, mate. Anyway. Where's the hero, mate? Well done, mate. Good on you. Wherever he is. He's not in the shot at the moment. Where is he? There he is, over there. White, grey shirt. He's a hero, mate, that guy. He just walked up and took the gun. Out of the car too, which is hard, like, awkward. Anyway, there you go. That was in Adelaide, obviously, or South Australia somewhere. Yeah, interesting. Kobe Thatcher said in Australia, India has now overtaken England as top country for residents born overseas. These demographic changes are now how our country is lost. We urgently need to pause immigration if we want to save it. You're talking to the choir here. This one, Il Donaldo Trumpo said, buckle up, buttercups, and I haven't watched it, so I don't know what it's about yet.
Earlier today, a grand jury in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned a true bill indicting Mr. James Comey with committing 2 felonies. Count 1, he knowingly and willfully made it.
I want to hear it, but there's music behind it. Oh, shit, what am I going to do? I'm just going to play it. Oh, well. It is altered music, obviously, because this man is speaking over the top, YouTube, but they're still going to get me for it.
A threat to kill and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States in violation of 18 U.S.C. 871A.
Okay, I just got to keep pausing it every now and then. Okay.
Count 2, he knowingly and willfully transmitted in interstate and foreign commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill President Trump in violation of 18 U.S.C. 875C.
Oh, I wish they wouldn't put music behind these things, seriously.
Mr. Comey will be given every form of due process all citizens are entitled to receive, to include a trial by a jury of his peers. In the Eastern District of North Carolina, it doesn't matter who you are. We take all threat cases seriously and prosecute anyone who violates federal law, regardless of title or status.
There we go. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Okay, Alexandria Marshall said shingles is all over the news again. You know what they want? They want to take a vaccine. You know, when I was a kid, our preschool closed for a week so all the kids could get together in a party where we deliberately caught chickenpox. And that was it. 1 week of scratching and nothing for the rest of our lives. Then they brought in the chickenpox vaccine. Stop kids getting the virus naturally. You were told you were an irresponsible parent if you let your kid get chickenpox. And all of a sudden, young adults have shingles. You can't tell me something went wrong. Yeah, you can tell me something went wrong. I don't know, that didn't make sense, that last bit. Anyway. Or you can't tell me something didn't go wrong, you know? Okay, and this, I'll be wrapping it up shortly, guys. I've been going for 1 hour, 39 minutes. Holy shit, I didn't think I'd make 1 hour. The road night said the harsh reality of life for 5-year-old Sharon in town camp, basically filthy tin sheds, surrounded by garbage and populated by violent drunks. Time for the left to blame Captain Cook again. Alternatively, they could read every word and learn something. Nasty place, the bedroom where Sharon was asleep at the time. Let me see if we can see. Okay, I can't really read it, so I can't... Inside the bedroom where Sharon slept, poor little kid. Look at all the bloody alcohol bottles. Jesus. Oh. And Warren Mundine says that, and he's Aboriginal, that welcome ceremonies are a pain in the ass. Yep. And this person, old soldier, is also Aboriginal and says Warren is correct. So we should not have welcome to countries, okay? We've already done that. Oh, Victoria are going after farmers, okay? Trying to, under authorisation from Victorian Labor government, VNI West is storming across some of the state's biggest agricultural land, like the bush is just a spreadsheet with gum trees on it. But they hit a wall, not a fence, not a lock gate, but a wall of locals. The first attempt was around 8:30 a.m. yesterday, while the second came later in the afternoon at another property. This isn't just about one farm at Dingwall. It's about a farming family's right to stand on their own land without government-backed officers turning up like they've got some divine right to wander in. They'll be back, but judging by yesterday, they might want to bring more than clipboards and confidence with them next time because these locals aren't folding quietly. Go, farmers, stand up for yourselves. And apparently Nick Fuentes pushed a woman who tried entering his home after he was doxxed. Battery charges now being dismissed. Turns out defending your own front door is not a crime. I agree. Look, as much as I don't like Nick Fuentes, okay, or don't agree with him, not that I hate him, I don't agree with him, and I think he's a paid shill, this is right. Unfortunately, that's how it is. You do not approach someone else's house. I might have to keep the robots for tomorrow now. This is hilarious, man. Like, I've got a bunch of robots. We think AI is going to take over? Yeah. I don't know about that. Okay? So I'm going to leave this right on this thing, and I'm going to have to bookmark a folder with robots in it. Okay? In the meantime, we're going to go to the comments. Sorry, guys. It's been a long... I've actually got my comments back after. Remember... The last time I went live, right before I went live, I went on to help, whatever it is, in studio and said, hello, I haven't had a chat for about a week. My chat's not showing. It's, it keeps saying something went wrong. And they go, oh, it wasn't us, it must be your streaming software or whatever, your encoder. And then all of a sudden, it was fixed. Yeah, okay. It's the encoder, yeah. It's not a coincidence that I contacted them and all of a sudden it was fixed. Okay, someone's making a racket out there. Shannon said the bees have been informed the king has seceded and Trump is large and in charge. I believe so. I believe that was something like that. That was some sort of, they are under Trump. The royal family are under Trump. And they know it and he knows it. Oh, good night, Eric. Have a good one. Okay, Alex said, Teresa, how you going? Alex said, all the same, we've been in distress for decades, Deb. Deb said, next they'll need Smoko. Paul said, why is my parcel late? Deb said, selfish, narcissistic bots. I don't know if someone's knocking on my door or what's going on. Yeah? No? Okay. I don't know what's going on. Someone was knocking on my door, I think one of the kids. Am I at home alone? Am I supposed to be looking after the kids again and I don't know? They don't tell me. They just go. And I'm like, oh. There is other people here, obviously, you know. But, yeah, I feel responsible for the children. If, you know, if mum and dad have gone, I feel next responsible. Okay. Paul said, why is my parcel late? Selfish, narcissistic bots, yes. Eric said, that looks like me before coffee. Deb said, who would have thought manners would have been their undoing? Yeah, Deb said, no, me. Calling. J1 said, bless you all. George said, about time the UK got rid of the so-called royal family. Alex said, no worries, Hev, take your time. We understand if you need to answer the phone, go praying for your dear friend. Yeah, I just got a friend who really should be in hospital, so. Is that the cat? Someone was knocking to let the cat in. Okay, I get it. The cat's at the door. And hey, J1, and Alex said, all they've done, nothing really good for this country. All they do is look down on all of us like scum. Deb said, I lost the... Oh, it was not you. Okay. Alex said, not my king or queen, horrid bunch. Teresa said, don't chat because I can't see. Oh, God love you. I get that. I understand. Deb said they had masks on. Was that you knocking on my door, sweetie? Yeah. Try and let the cat in. I'm sorry, I didn't realise. I'm so sorry, sweetie. Thank you. Okay, Jake said William King next. When I hear the name William, I always think of Braveheart William Wallace. Yep. Shane says, so late this morning, my bad. How you going, Shane? George said, we have local elections coming up. We need to vote Labor out. Yes. J1 vax to the max. Yep. Teresa said, first lady's hat and dress, the lady like Lady Di. Yes. Yeah, they've got that grace about them, don't they? That class. Yeah, George said, vote. And Deb said, polio back too. Jake said, oh, it's all coming out. Yep. J1 said 2 people who have been to Mar-a-Lago, Gina and Pauline, Orange Power Teamers go in Australia. I believe so. Look, they call him Orange Man, right? And what colour is Pauline Hanson's party? Orange. It's interesting. Alex said, yeah, I don't think I'm even registered, but my dad is running locally, so hopefully he will win. He's always done other people's jobs and actually got things done for the community, George. Oh, God love you, Alex. I hope he does. Alex said, I grew up in and around politics. Conchega said, Jake, if you know anything about DJT, he draws them close so they unravel themselves. Gina and Pauline, what a double act. I don't think so, Conchega. I'll agree to disagree with you on that because I don't think they're not bad guys, I'm telling you. They're the only ones that are going to save Australia, I'm telling you right now. Alex said, even yesterday, people up the road called my dad, even though it's not his area, just to get something sorted, and he got it done. Oh, well, nice. Yeah, good luck to your dad. Yeah, Shannon, taxes theft. Donald said, I've been waiting for the income tax to be done with. Alex said, thank you, George. He's been canvassing all week. Quite positive feedback, I think, so far. No one or very little is going to be voting Labor this time, that's for sure. Alex said, that would be great, Donald. Yes, tax is most definitely theft, Shannon. Shannon said, oh, my shins. Yeah, the bully. Getting, yeah, Alex, F her out and find out. Don't be a bully. Paul said, Dumb and Dumber. Oh, yeah, talking to the children, explaining, do you know the difference between deportation? Oh, my God. Carl, how you going, Carl? Give everyone a cognitive test. Yeah, I agree. Paul said, sounds like a real teacher. Alex said, probably too busy asking grok rather than thinking for themselves, reporters. Yeah, they're not. They are not anything like I even expect. I thought they'd do even a little bit of, no, they don't do any research whatsoever. And there is no more investigative journalists because they're all just talking heads. Conchega said Mel Gibson's doing a fantastic job of acting as RFK Jr. George said, beam me up, Scotty. Deb said, they just read what's in front of them. Yeah, I do too. Like, to be fair, I'm a talking head too, but I do have an opinion. And plus, always, I'm not a news reporter, okay? It might say world news on my titles, and that's what I discuss, but I'm not actually a news reporter. I'm just someone in my house. I was going to say I'm a nobody, but last time I said that, you go, no, you're not a nobody. Okay, so I'm just someone in my house who sees what weird shit's going on, and I have to talk about it. Okay. Yeah, Alex, they have a script to follow. And Deb said school's brightest. Something, where? Why is it going? Oh, all over the place. Paul said, imagine an RFK GPS navigational voice. Mine's nearly going that way at the moment. Jake said, Mel Gibson directed Passion of the Christ. There you go. Deb said, one for the whole country for the day script. Teresa said, yo, Ilhan Omar talking about World War II, called it War 11. Oh, my God, it's not just the media. These people in charge are brain dead too. Okay. Wow. Teresa said Ilhan Omar must of leaving centre. 9/11 Han Omar, said Paul. Ilan Ulmi, said Eric. G'day, Zell. Shannon said 15 million businesses worth, just a rounding error. George said Zach Polinsky, the Green leader in England, is a nut job. Aren't all Greens leaders? Teresa said, thankfully you have reads for me. God love you. Alex said, dressed in all leathers, head to toe. Jake said, Wonder Woman trench scene, take a look. Paul said, leave Britney alone. Troubled singer Britney Spears officially charged with DUI. Alex said, these sickos are parading their fetishes in public while children are around. They should all be in prison. How you going, AS? AS said, Mel Gibson, love him. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, Paul, boom, winning. Paul said, you cooked that shit, Trump. Yeah, exactly. And Lady Stardust joined us, and Paul said, me to have to be in the US now would be, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Bearded Guardian, wow, long time no see. Hey all, how you going? Good to see ya. My cat's coming in through the window. Okay. Marlo, how you going? And, of course, Humpty Bump. I like that name, it's good. Lady Stardust said, I think RFK Jr. clip was edited. Do you think so? It probably has been. It's probably AI, and I'm just didn't realise. Alex said, Goblin, indeed. Don't sit on my mouse, mate. No, don't think of jumping up there. Please don't. Smiggles, no. No, buddy, no. Come here, my darling. Come here. It's okay. It's okay, Bubba. You sit there. Oh, good boy. You sit there. He's a good boy. Okay. Sal said it has to be AI. Okay, so may have been AI that. All right, I was thinking he doesn't normally say stuff like that. Bearded Guardian said Trump's humour is rubbing off on him, lol. I would love that if it happened. Yeah, definitely. Paul said, I wonder if we do have a third set of teeth, just how many people would still abuse the gift of new teeth? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd be looking after those lot, if that's all you got. Alex said, I was thinking it was probably AI. His voice sounded slightly off. Zale said, Warren just doing the typical talk-over tactic. Yeah, that's all they do, shout over the top of everyone else. Just because you're louder and you talk fast doesn't mean you're right, you know that? I hope people realise that. Because a lot of people get taken by someone who talks fast and loud over the top of people and they think, oh, that person must be right. No, it's not. Put logic into gear. Put your grey matter into gear and use that logic we've all got. Carl, now Emma's going great at the moment, with me anyway. Not so much for the other person that was taking it with me. They're the one that needs to be in hospital right now. Okay. Alex said if it's legit though, pretty funny. Yep. Oh, shoot, where am I going? Alex said, like when Elon was in the White House with his black eye and blamed it on his son, he just fell into a K-hole. Alex said, the veil is lifting. Paul said, nothing okay. Sal said, all those terrorist cells were creations of the CIA, FBI. Allegedly. George said she was on what is it? She was on KET, semicolon X, she would not be standing. Alex said, I reckon lots of people microdose it, but yeah, if she sniffed a lot, she would be Sparko, George. Eric said, that's a common drug used in America for varicose veins, yeah. Alex said, horrible stuff like all drugs. Tim S. said, all true about natokinase, doses and purity matters. Okay, there you go. Alex said, I meant ket, horrible stuff. Tim S. said, there's a love of fake and half-assed stuff being cranked out. A lot of, yeah. Hey, going, Timmy. Darlene said, my brother died of plaque build-up and heart. He was healthy 50-year-old, just dropped dead. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Yeah, why is alcohol called spirits? I said that years ago. Like, not all alcohol, but spirits, you know. Tim said, remind me, haven't we chat about vitamin C and exactly what kind and what it does? Yes, I will. Yeah, there's a layer missing to that article. Zal said that's mostly peaceful Aboriginals in Alice Springs, yeah. Shannon said Alice Springs is Mad Max, yeah. If you haven't seen Mad Max, you should go and watch it. That's what our country's like. Sal said, how about they remove the entities preying on those communities, as that's the real problem driving the Aboriginals to drink. Yeah, well, there's a lot of problems that could be fixed, but throwing money at it isn't working. You need to hold people accountable. That's what you need to do. Guaranteed if that guy did this, he's been locked up before. Paul said Wolf Creek. Zal said, we're talking astral entities usually buoyed by their own, what is it, Khadija fellas to cause the disruption. Paul said, Zal, what government money? Yes, taxpayers' money. George said, Labor does not care about women and children in England. Sal said, because they don't want them living the white man's lifestyle. Jake said, I'm apparently gone mad because I didn't have the jabs and I'm a conspiracy theorist. I can't even play a song, lol. I only said play Twisted Sisters, we're not going to take it. Family said we're not playing it, lol. Oh, that's a bit sad. Shanna said that's why alcohol's called spirits, Zal. Yep. Paul said Muslims, yes, George. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people who drink spirits and they've been possessed, mate. Seriously, that's what it looks like. When they're blind, rotten drunk, they look like they are possessed. Sorry, I'm having a yawn and a stretch because I'm so bloody tired. Up half the night with allergies. Okay. If it's not one thing, it's another. I'm not sleeping well these days. Paul said, Zal, it's because they get free money and drinking is all they have. George said Labor want their Muslim vote, same as the Greens. Deb said night sweats Timmy. Shannon said opens you up to let them possess you. I believe it does. I believe the same thing. Yeah, mob mentality, that's what I was trying to come up with, Shannon. I'm not going to read all the... I may be able to. I'm really hungry, and oh my goodness, I forgot to eat before I came on. Okay, as Al said, the interviews with Steve Richard, Aboriginal kinetic healer, who told the stories of his experience with those entities in those communities. Paul said it will bite them in the arse. George, as Al said, Paul, we don't need to speak in capitals. Read what I've written. I don't know what you're talking about there. Flyby said it's true that, but I know that sometimes when people speak in capitals, it's because they can't see, and it's easier for them to see when they type in capitals. Okay, just to let people know, it's not always people shouting at you. A lot of people do think that, and sometimes it is. But yeah. Oh, there you go. Paul said, Zal, I have vision problems, so I'm sorry. He's not shouting at you. He's not shouting at you. George said, sweet dreams, Deb. Flyby said, is that true that crude oil replenishes itself so it never shortages? Scam from the scumbag. Yes, it is true. It is not a fossil fuel. It's got nothing to do with fossils. It regenerates. Oil does. Yeah, so there you go, Zal. Some people who talk in capitals are not yelling at you. They have sight problems, and it's easier for them to see when they type in capitals. Okay, just to get that through to some people. Not you, Zal. I mean other people, because I see it a lot. People going, "Don't shout at me," and I'm like, "Oh, this person can't even see properly," and you're telling them not to shout at you. Okay, that's a mess. Okay. Sal said there's elements within the government that are part of the occulted hidden hand ensuring the Aboriginal communities never rise out of the problem. Yep. Shannon said mob mentality. Yep. Deb said, I was wondering about night sweats with menopause. Oh, yeah. Tell me about that one. Okay. Sal said, yep, hand him over. Well, you'd get more justice that way, wouldn't you? Shannon said, so masturbation does make you blind, Paul. I thought that was a myth. Oh, Shannon. Or if you just shoot into the wind. Oh, my goodness, you guys. You're funny. George said, Aboriginal, beautiful people. Yep. Jake said, we're being farmed. Paul said, Shannon, please explain. He was joking, obviously, Paul. And George said, all politicians are corrupt, and Zal's laughing and Eric's laughing and Flyby said, been watching, and we know here on YouTube. Zal said, George, they're pretty cool. I know some great ones. Eric said, treason. Yep. Zal said, all the demtards have all assets deployed. They do. Even in Australia, all the lefties have been, the bots have been deployed. Yeah. Jake said, money being cut for these paid protests. See who turns up for nut. Yeah, they won't now. Paul said, ooh. Sal said, Mr. Burns. Jake said, evil. Paul said, cuddle struggle. Yeah, the inbreds, the Rothschilds. Sal said, Luma has huge tracts of land. Flyby said, I find it very strange how he died. Rothschild, 87-year-old. I say BS, they all live a lot longer just before the shit hits the fan. Yeah, they're probably going into their bunkers. Flyby said, the horning in the morning, doing the yawning. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm so tired. I was up most of the night with allergies, so I'm stuffed. Good night. God bless, Jake. Kachega asked what were those medals Jenna was wearing. I don't know. I'd have to go back and have a look. Shanna said he had to yeet the gun, otherwise he would get done for possession of a firearm. Yes. Oh, Cassandra, how you going? And Alex said maybe that's why Copperfield cancelled his show to make the moon disappear. There you go. Okay, I'm just going to read from here because I'm really hungry. I need to go and eat. Shannon said, nobody's homie Comey. And George said, a lot of people want Trump dead. I know, it's not good. Shannon said, or corny if you use a search engine. Yeah, George said, I would rather have Trump than Starmer as leader. Yep, me too. Sal said, nothing is what it seems, folks. Flyby said, let's have a Trump NWO do me. What? George said, Starmer's a traitor and a coward. Sal said, they won't stop harassing those farmers. Sal said he should have towed her in the date. Oh, kicked her in the, yeah, okay. Jake said, Starmer's been put up front and exposed, George. George said, I'm on the farmer's side. No farmers, no food. Exactly. And good night to Eric. And Carl said, I've been listening. Perfect connection as I head out of Bermuda. Nice. Alex said, take care. Good night. See you, Eric. George said, Carl, don't go missing in the Bermuda Triangle, mate. Zal said, the Australian Labor Party, Greens and Teals are nothing but a bunch of activists pretending to be politicians who've never worked a day's work in their lives. I agree, Zal. Zal said, also the Liberals these days too. George said, sounds like Labor in the UK, Zal. Flyby said, George, them Greens even worse, proper nut jobs. Cassandra said, hello, Deb, Alex, hi, George. Deb said, no free thinkers. Yeah, exactly. George said, Zach Polanski is a nut job fly. Carl said, how is Emma doing, Hev? Yeah, Emma's going good with me. Alex said, hey, Mr. Smiggles and Bella. Shannon said, got to assemble a new computer table for me boy after this, then off to work again. Alex said, hope it goes well and you have a lovely day at work, Shannon. Yep, have a good day at work, Shannon. Deb said, I agree, 100% possessed. Patriot Mike, how you going? Just realised everyone's on YouTube, been over on Rumble, wondering why no one was commenting. Then Heb started saying hello to everyone and didn't see them in my chat. Oh, God love ya. Is there more? Oh, no. Whoops. Don't do that. Oh, where'd I go? No. Oh, good to see you, Patriot Mike. Anyway, Alex said, I just had smoked ham, cheese, salads, lettuce wrap with mayo. It was yummy. You know what happens when I go live now? My mum turns her TV up, blaring, so she can't hear me. I can hear her TV with my door shut. I'm going to have a word with her, but she won't remember. Oh, no. Okay. Patriot Mike said, then I put two and two together when I finally realised the chat was on Hev's screen was YouTube. Well, you're not dumb, Patriot Mike. No, I wouldn't say that, no. But thank you for watching and Rumble too. Alex said, glad you made it over here, Patriot Mike. Yes, it's all happening over here. Flyby said, I'm out. Good people. Thanks, Hev. You're a star. Take care. You too. Alex said, good night. God bless. Darlene said, KFC for breakfast, Hev, and get the wipes. Okay. KFC's a fair bit away from me at the moment. Alex said, I'm going to bed straight after this. A wave of tiredness just hit me just past 2 a.m. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up real soon. Deb said, same dame dog, just different parts of the same dog. Alex said, oh, bless your mum, Hev. Yeah, she doesn't want to hear me, so she turns the TV up blaring, and then I'm, sitting here going, oh, okay. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to leave it here for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know when Tim is joining us, but I'm sure it's going to be tomorrow or the next day. I'll get in contact with Tim and we'll work it out. Patriot Mike, yeah, long time no see. It's been a minute since I caught a live show. Glad to see you right now. Hope you remember me. Yeah, there's lots of people that, got lost along the way. It's good to see you anyway. And thank you, Alex. And yet with that, I'm going to go, guys. I'm starving hungry. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening. See you tomorrow, same time, here on YouTube. And I'll talk to you then. Bye, guys.